Hello, everyone. This is Miyako Kawamoto from the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka, and I am one of the members who are in charge of this Japanese government MEXT scholarship. As Ms. Kondo explained, MEXT is Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology of Japan, and it's one of the Japanese ministries which is in charge of education. First of all, I'd like to explain what is the reason to choose Japan to pursue your higher education. I assume that you are offered scholarship by many foreign government institutions or other foreign private institutions, but I'd like to share some good reasons why you should choose Japan as the place to study. First of all, you can experience world-class science and technology. You can learn about cutting-edge science, technology, medicine, and etc. You can get the lecture taught by experienced professors, or you can learn from your classmates who are educated by these professors. And the second is the fascinating culture. Some of you may be familiar with Japanese culture. We have the diverse and rich Japanese culture from traditional to modern, like ikebana, bonsai, manga, and anime. And the third is conducive living environment and safe and secure infrastructure. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world. You can live in a comfortable environment and you can enjoy the secure infrastructures. The fourth is a diverse international students. About 220,000 international students from more than 170 countries and regions across the world. If you pursue the higher education in Japan, not you can make friends or network not only with Japanese students, but also international students who are studying in Japan as well. And as this graph shows, there are so many reasons why the international student choose Japan to study. And you can see this graph on the webpage of JASO. It's one of the organizations who are promoting international student and academic exchanges. And so many people picked up Japan as a place to study because of their interest or interest in like environment, language, and culture. And not only before going to Japan, but after going to Japan, so many students are satisfied with their decision to choose Japan as a place to study. So now let's move on to the scholarships themselves. Now this presentation is going to explain about Japanese government scholarship, but not only this, but also there are many other options if you are interested in studying in Japan. Like for example, some local government or local international association offers a scholarship for international students. And also some universities offers a scholarship to study in their own educational institution, including the tuition fee exemptions and reduction system. But this time I like to focus on Japanese government scholarship. So let's dive into the brief about the MEXT scholarships. The scholarship has a very long history. It was established in 1954 for the foreign students who wished to study in higher educational institutions in Japan. And you can be a MEXT scholarship recipient by getting the recommendation from Japanese embassy, consulate general, or university. And so far, over 9,000 foreign students from approximately 160 countries go to Japan to study with MEXT scholarship every year. This is one of the largest scholarships provided for international students to study in Japan. And under the umbrella of this scholarship provided by the Japanese government, there are 7 types of program offered: research, undergraduate, College of Technology, Japanese Studies, teacher training, and specialized training and young leaders program. Each program offers a different opportunities and has a different criteria for their own selection process. And as I mentioned before, there are 2 ways to apply for this scholarship. The first is embassy recommendation, which I'm going to explain it to you this during this seminar. It's becoming the MEXT scholarship recipient by getting the recommendation by an embassy or consulate general of Japan. Here in Sri Lanka, we do not have consulate general, so to be a MEXT recipient under the category of embassy recommendation, you need to get the recommendation by an embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka. And the second is university recommendation. This means the recommendation by the universities. The detail is available on the webpage of the MEX. So if you are interested in this recommendation as well, you can check the website for further detail. But most of Sri Lankan students go to Japanese university by getting the recommendation by an embassy. So what is the embassy recommendation process? There are 7 types of program offered as a MEXT scholarships. In Sri Lanka, there are 5 programs offered. And this time, I like to focus on top 3 category: research, undergraduate, and College of Technology, because number 4 and number 5 is scholarship for a very specific student, and the application hasn't opened yet. So I like to focus these threes. So it's a bit small table, but each category has different eligibility requirement, duration, and the detail of the course. Like for example, the age limit is different, and I assume that application will be open tonight or tomorrow, and the detail will be uploaded on the webpage of Ministry of Education of Sri Lanka. But this is a detail that hasn't changed for years. Like for example, if you are looking for the research student, like to pursue your master or PhD in Japan, you need to be under the 35 years of age, and each category has a different requirement in terms of school education you received so far, or even the application documents and the amount of scholarship differ among each category. So make sure to read the advertisement and announcement made by the Ministry of Education or Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka. Make sure that you won't miss these opportunities. So here's the selection procedure. These are subject to change and will be available, I assume, at least by tomorrow. But in general, we will close the application as soon as possible, and around sometime in May, application will close. Before that, you need to submit. You need to complete the online application from the link provided by the Ministry of Education in Sri Lanka. In June, the embassy and the ministry will conduct the written exam. The subject it depends on which sector you are going to apply for or which major you are going to pick. And from June to July, there will be an interview for those who pass the first screening, which means written test. Applicants will be called for an interview, starting from those who obtained highest mark in the written test. So that written test is very important to shortlist this candidate for the scholarship. And in August, the embassy will recommend suitable candidate to the MEXT in Japan. And from December to February, the MEXT will select the final candidate, because each Japanese embassy in each country will send their own recommendation, and the MEXT will see the documents and the score of the written exam, and they will select the final candidate. So getting the recommendation from the embassy isn't the final. It makes your document to be submitted to the MEXT. So getting the recommendation doesn't equal that you are selected and you are going to be the recipient of the scholarship. And following year, around January or February, MEXT will notify the list of successful candidates to the embassy and will inform those who are recommended about the result, and necessary process will be conducted. And here is the examination subject. Each category has different examination subject, and as I mentioned, it's very important to get the highest score as it's very important to get the highest score as much as you can, but please make sure to take the proper subject and study for them. And also here's the selection summary for the financial year of 2025. So these group of people who are accepted for each category are now in Japan, and I assume they already started their own study. So for research, 8 Sri Lankan students were accepted. One is going to undergraduate school in Japan, and 2 are selected to study College of Technology. And this scholarship is provided by the Japanese government, and we aim to grow the human resources who work as a bridge between their own home country and Japan. That's why we provide a scholarship for international students to study in Japan. As here is mentioned in the list, there are so many prominent past MEXT scholarships from Sri Lanka, like so many recipients and alumni of Japanese university who received this scholarship plays a very important role in academia, business, and some other field. Some are contributing Sri Lankan society, and some are working to strengthen the bilateral relations between Japan and Sri Lanka. So if you are interested in the detail, please check the website of Ministry of Education and also the embassy to get the further detail. It will be available soon. And also, if you are interested in overall about the study in Japan, you can refer to website as well. And also the information will be available on our social media as well. So I appreciate if you would continue to follow up the information and check the detail to get this opportunity. Thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you so much for Kawamoto-san, um, for your insightful presentation. Thank you so much. ありがとうございました。Well, next we'll have two scholarship recipients joining us today. And first, I would like to invite Dr. Pradeep Sensei. Thank you. Doctor, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Momo-san, and good afternoon, everyone. So it is profound honor to be here. So my thanks to the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka and the University of Tokyo for organizing this bridge between the Japan and Sri Lanka and as well as South Asia. So to the student watching today, so I remember being exactly where you are. I stood at a crossroads in my career, looking for a way to push my boundaries of my knowledge. So today I am serving as the Dean Faculty of Computing in a recognized university in Sri Lanka. But the foundation of my academic journey and also the leadership and my technical expertise was built in small snowy city called Nagaoka in the Niigata prefecture during my doctoral studies as a Mombusho MEXT scholar. So I'm at the beginning, I appreciate to all Japanese taxpayers for giving me that opportunity to learn in Japan, to study in Japan, my doctoral studies. So I changed my whole life because of this scholarship and the opportunity I got to study in Japan. This MEXT scholarship is not just a financial grant, it is an invitation to join an allied global network of things, as very correctly Kawamoto-san said. So this is a global network. So when you enter a Japanese university, so you don't just enter a classroom, you enter a group of research laboratory family. So I must say it's a family. So in Japan, the relationship with your supervisor or the sensei is a unique thing. So it's a mentorship that lasts for the lifetime. So still we have very good relationship with my supervisor and my lab mates. So I'm in my experience at Nagaoka University of Technology. So I wasn't just taught what to research. So actually I was taught how to think together with my lab family members. The Japanese academic system values precision and also discipline. So you will find that the facilities from maybe high-end computers, cluster computers, advanced robotics, so they are world class. But more importantly, the culture. Especially, I must mention the weekly seminars, the lab seminars, teaches you to defend your ideas and accept construction criticism. It starts from your lab members and supervisor, those who are willing to study PhD. So this is the fire, so that turns a researcher into a scholar. So if you want to be the forefront of artificial intelligence or engineering or maybe social sciences, so the Japan provide the infrastructure to make your vision into reality. Now let's talk about the life outside the lab. So many of you might worry about the language or the food, right? As I worried at my beginning. Yes, Japanese language is a challenge, but it is also a gateway. So learning Japanese opened my eyes to the concept of omotehashi, right? So the deep rooted culture of hospitality and thinking of others. So don't worry. So as I got nice Japanese language teachers within the university, you also will get Japanese language teachers in your university. So actually, my Japanese language learning time at Nagaoka University, the first 6 months, it was marvelous. It was marvelous. I learned a lot. I still can remember my very first snow I experienced during in a classroom. So our sensei, so when we ran out to the window, so our sensei allowed us. So it was very marvelous. So Japan is one of the safest and most disciplined countries in the world. As a student, this gives you a rare peace of mind. So you can focus entirely on your innovation. You will learn the value of punctuality, where a train being maybe 30 seconds late is an event, right? So, and you will find yourself bringing that discipline back to your own country. That is really important, my dear friends. To my So all of my friends, so you will also find a surprising number of cultural parallels in terms of respect for elders and the importance of community. You're not just going there to study. So you are going there to grow as a human being. The beautiful thing there is Japanese people trust everyone. Japanese people are trusting everyone as they trust on me. So that is the beautiful thing. So people often ask me, how did Japan contribute to your life? So beyond the doctor title, Japan gave me a global identity. Today, I lead international projects, including collaboration with European universities. So I got Erasmus Plus challenging €1 million grant. The major reason was the Japan brand on my CV. On your CV is a mark of quality recognized worldwide. It tells employees and partners that you are disciplined, technically sound, and capable of adapting to any environment. My time in Japan allowed me to bridge the gap between Sri Lankan education and international standards. So whether it is implementing maybe artificial intelligence for public productivity or leading a faculty, I use the KOSEN mindset, continuous improvement every single day. So my friends, to wrap up, I have 3 pieces of advices to you. First thing, be specific. When you write your research proposal, don't just be a dreamer, be a problem solver. Show Japan how your research will help the world, help to the community, help to the society. And the second point, be brave. Don't let the language barrier scare you. The best thing in life happen outside your comfort zone. I repeat it. The best thing life happen outside your comfort zone. The third point, my dear friend, be an ambassador. Remember that you are selected, that if you are selected, you are going to represent your country. So build bridges. That is really interesting. Honestly, Japan changed my life. So as Kamamoto-san told, so the list of professionals, actually, it is not end. So once we completed our degree program, even during the degree program, we have Japan Students Association, very strong association. We are getting together in every year and we are going trips. Very interesting. We met our friends there. So large number of communities are there. So even once we return to Sri Lanka, now we have uh, uh, Japanese Graduate Association. So very strong one. We are very closely working with the Embassy of Japan and also Japanese people. So starting from the secretary to the digital ministry, Mr. Varuna Sri Dhanapala, and so all key position holders. So we work closely. Now we have very strong relationship. You know, when we are going to do something, when we want to make it happen. So this relationship is really, really important. The Japan, so it gave me the tools to lead and the vision to innovate. To every student from South Asia listening today, the MEXT scholarship is your door to the future. I highly encourage you to knock on it. So finally, also I'm thanking to all taxpayers in Japan who gave me the opportunity to study in such a nice country. And so I wish all Japanese people very best, and thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Dr. Pradip Sensei, どうもありがとうございました. Thank you so much and for sharing your experience. That was really great. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, next I would like to invite Mr. Janice-san. Janice-san, floor is yours.
よろしくお願いいたします。
はい。
So welcome everybody to this seminar on MEXT, organized by University of Tokyo and also with the collaboration of the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka, I think. So I think most of the important points have already been brought by Professor Kalansurya. I sort of thought of like presenting you like my experience in Japan because I'm still in Japan. And so I have prepared a little bit of a few slides to interest you. So I will share them now and hopefully you will be interested. So I hope my slides are visible. Are they not visible? Yes. Short self-introduction. So I'm Janik Vikramasinghe. I'm currently a master's student in the University of Soyama, majoring in pharmaceutical sciences. So University of Soyama is actually in Toyama-ken, which is a neighboring prefecture to Niigata, where Dr. Kalasuri actually went to university. So, and as for where I graduated in Sri Lanka, I graduated from University of Colombo, Faculty of Science, and my degree was Immunology and Integrative Molecular Biology. And I wanted to change the field that I sort of study. So that led me to applying to this scholarship and also trying for something that's related to neuroscience. And I actually managed to do that thanks to the MEXT scholarship and also thanks to my professor who actually accepted me. And currently I'm researching on bipolar disorder with sort of animal studies, which is something that I would not be able to do in Sri Lanka. And as for a little bit of a sort of detail about me is that my hobby is learning languages. So also coming to Japan was much of an opportunity for me to further my interest in that field as well. So without further ado, how is my life in Japan? So this is Toyama-ken. I hope you can see the photos. So Toyama-ken is a very special place in Japan because it's in the Sea of Japan side. And on one side, you have the Alps of Japan, which is the Tateyama Temple, the Tateyama mountain range. As you can see, there's lots of snow-covered mountains. And on the other side, it's actually a very beautiful beach. And as you would see on the right side of the screen, we have the Toyama Castle, and that's the picture with yellow-colored leaves is one of the campuses of my university. So this is the campus where I did my first part of my program in MEXT, which I will go into detail a little bit later. So since everyone is probably interested in, when you hear about Japan, you also know it's a very scenic country. So I sort of thought of like showing you how it exactly is. So most of you know about Tokyo, Osaka, and all the very famous spots. But in this side of Japan, the sort of the middle part, but in the northern side of Japan, is not quite popular in Sri Lanka, as far as I know. And but it's one of the best places in Japan, which I did not know until I come here, but I found out. And one of the most scenic beaches in Japan, Amaharashi, and you also have the tallest waterfall in Japan, Shoumyotaki, and then again the Toyama Castle, and we also have a very famous tulip fair in Thermaking and in a city called Tonami. And these are all pictures that I took by my own with my phone. Unfortunately, the quality is not the best, but you can see it's quite scenic. And that you see is actually me going on a trip to Tateyama, the mountains. In around like summer and like late spring, the mountain opens into it's open for tourists, and you can basically go there. And the university actually arranged a whole tour for all the international students to go there once. So you have these opportunities as well. And you have a very beautiful jinja, which is a traditional Japanese shrine, which I think most of you know. And one of the best things about Toyama is also we have the world's most beautiful Starbucks, which is a detail that most people would not know. So it's in a park called Kansui Koen, a water park, and right next to it we have the most scenic Starbucks in the whole world, it's called. So, and just to give a little bit more of what I've seen, so these are also from my travels actually. On the left side is Gokayama, one of the oldest villages in Japan. And the style of the buildings are also a little bit different from what you would usually expect. And it's called a style called Gashozukuri, a really old style of farm housing. And it was full of snow, about 1 meter in snow that we traveled there. And on the right side is Kamikochi, that's in Nagano-ken. It's in another neighboring prefecture to Toyama, and it's also one of the most scenic places I have ever seen. And that was also a tour that was led by the university's international student office. So this is the scenic part of being in Japan. So now that I have caught your interest, I would like to talk a little bit about what exactly MEXT is and how it would change your life. So as for the first presentation that you probably were paying attention to by Kawamoto-san, and you probably noted down like why choosing Japan and the reasons to choose Japan. So of course, science and technology. While the place I'm in is not exactly the most urban part of Japan, but the university is still equipped in sort of technologies that were impossible to get your hands through in Sri Lanka. So I was in Columbia University Faculty of Science, but the techniques that were available to us back in home is not anything much compared to what we have access to here. So no matter where you go in Japan, you're actually able to get a world-class level education if you put your heart to it. And as for culture, I think you have seen much with my pictures alone itself. It's a really beautiful experience for you because you are out of your comfort zone again, and you are experiencing a completely different culture, a different language, a different belief system. And every day it will be something new to learn. Every day it will be something new for you to experience. And as you would see, it's also a very conducive environment for learning, where like, for example, if in my case, I'm quite away from the urban centers, so it's quite calm and peaceful lifestyle here. And because Thermakin is also one of the most agriculturally uh, uh, very advanced prefectures in Japan, I also eat very well. because we have really good seafood and also fresh vegetables, and rice in Tuama is also very famous. And so there are those little experiences that you can never get anywhere else in the world. And the other thing, the most important thing, is actually the community of international students. Like all of these trips and all of these adventures that I've mostly had them with my international friends from all different countries, all the way from America to Africa to Middle East, Europe, and Southeast Asia, South Asia. So it's a whole family of people from all parts of the world, and where you get to know each other's culture, not just Japanese culture, but also how to connect with people, and uh, go over like language barriers and be able to communicate with people. So these are some of the experiences that you cannot really um, evaluate, because they're so invaluable and it will be with you for your life. And so that's actually the best part of being in Japan. And as for my academics, I'm also currently researching in something which I basically touched upon earlier. Um, the MEXT scholarship allowed me not just to have a master's degree, like I'm currently at the master's degree level, not just that, but to change my field actually. For example, one of the propositions that I brought up in my presentation when I was in the screening process was that in Sri Lanka, you don't get any chances to learn neuroscience, someone that's outside the medical field. Like you cannot really get yourself into basic neuroscience research as long as you are within Sri Lanka. And MEXT allowed me that opportunity, and also very much thanks to my supervisor who allowed me, despite having quite a knowledge gap from what I've done in my bachelor's degree to the master's degree. And it has been quite a valuable experience. I've learned a lot as well. And so having said that, I most of the technical details we have touched upon, and also Dr. Kalansuri also gave you like a full breakdown of the actual value of being in this program, having the privilege to be a MEXT scholar. And a little bit I would like to add on to is that more like even when I was applying to this program, a language barrier is one thing that was also in my mind. So when I applied to the scholarship, I also did not speak any Japanese, to be honest. I knew the hiragana, katakana, and like maybe a few kanji, but that's it. And so I think after taking the exam that we had from the embassy, I think I might have maybe got like 2 questions in the Japanese paper, right? And that's all. But after coming here, I did really give my best to learn Japanese, and it really rewarded me in so many ways. Because while it is challenging, it could be challenging, but it is not something that's impossible to overcome. Depending on how you learn, how you wish to study a language, how you approach it, your pace can be quite fast compared to going through a very formal sort of set of textbooks or anything. And while you are also surrounded by the language itself, you are going to be quite fast learning the language itself. So each and every day that passes, while you're more exposed to the language and while you're training yourself a little bit more, the distance that you would have between the locals and your lab mates actually comes really, really close. That distance closes off, and you finally become part of the community in the lab and wherever that you are. And you actually get to enjoy the life as how mostly the locals would do. So that part is like your second sort of epiphany in this whole experience. So to be honest, the final message that I would have to give you is that if you are really into getting this scholarship, and I hope you are, because it's an amazing opportunity that you should not ever let go without giving it a go without giving it a try. Please give your best at learning the language too, because your experience here is going to be 10,000 times different from what you would be able to get without giving an effort to learn the language as well. So I think that should conclude my presentation, and thank you very much for inviting me for this session. And I thank you very much for University of Tokyo for arranging this opportunity for all the Sri Lankan students and all the South Asian students who are participating here to get an exposure to this program. So thank you very much.
Okay, Janice, thank you so much for wonderful experience in Japan and Toyama. Those pictures are wonderful. Did you take all of them?
Yeah, all of these I
Yeah,
took
very, very,
myself.
very nice, very nice, beautiful. ありがとうございました。All right, then now we'll move on to the Q&A session. We have some questions. If you have any questions, please write them in the Q&A section, and I will read them out, and our speakers will respond. Okay, and well, while we're doing the Q&A session, I'm just going to share the information here. Does everyone see? Okay. All right. Then I'm going to read the Q&A questions. Okay. First question. Is there written Japanese language test? Is there written Japanese language test? Kawamoto-san or maybe
Yes, there will be a written exam of Japanese language.
okay. Good. Good. All right. All right. And do we need to know Japanese to apply?
Well, it wasn't required to master Japanese language at the time of your application, but if you have some skills in Japanese language, that can add some advantage. And also, if you are selected, you are required to be willing to learn Japanese.
Okay. Okay, thank you. All right. The next question is there any JLPT level for MEXT scholarship?
Well, JLPT isn't required, and it depends on which scheme you are going to apply. But at the time of application, no JLPT is required. Well, I recommend you to learn Japanese language since if you are going to study in Japan, but we do not have any like specific level to be required.
Okay. ありがとうございます。Okay, the next question is what is the Japanese proficiency level required for the scholarship?
Well, this isn't required, but if you have some proficiency of Japanese language, it can add some advantage.
Okay. Can I take Buddhist studies with this scholarship?
Well, yes. It depends on the scheme you are going to take. Like, for example, I assume that College of Technology in Japan do not offer that kind of study, but some like master or PhD in that field may available in Japanese universities. So it depends on what kind of course will be offered by Japanese universities. So yes, it depends whether you can pursue that study in Japan and under the scheme of this scholarship.
Okay, thank you. Well, the next question is how can we create recommendation letters?
Well, I wasn't sure the specific meaning of that recommendation letters, and it depends on the scheme, but we request the selected applicants to submit the letter of recommendation from your teachers or professors, and we will share the format once you are selected and requested to submit that letter. And also, if your supervisor or professor prefer to use their own, it's going to be also accepted.
Okay. Okay. Well, next question is, if I have 2A and 1B or C in AL with N4, N3 undergraduate, a pass for Japanese, A for ICT, B or C for English literature, I eligible to apply MEXT scholarship?
Other than your record of study or Japanese skills, we have so many other criteria like age or years of education you received and other things. So it's a bit hard to answer the criteria of individual people at this moment. So the detail of criteria will be available tonight or tomorrow on the official website of the Ministry of Education, and I highly recommend to check this whether you can meet that requirement.
Okay, thank you. All right, next question is there a link to apply for that scholarship in Embassy of Japan website?
The link to apply for this scholarship will be available tonight or tomorrow on the webpage of Ministry of Education in Sri Lanka. Now the ministry is working to upload this link and other detail. So I believe that this will be available soon. But from that webpage, you can apply for the scholarship.
Okay, ありがとうございます。Next question is, I just, where did it go? I lost it. I'm sorry. 1 second. All right, I want to do my higher studies in Japan. Can I do master's or PhD in Japan? Also, want to know, are their English taught master's or PhD?
If you apply for the MEXT scholarship research scheme and selected, you can pursue master or PhD in Japan, and some courses are available in English.
Okay. All right. Next question. How about a technologist graduate students in a government? How about a technologist graduate student in a government student? Is it affect the GPA or class?
I wasn't sure what these
Yes,
graduates
may I answer that
specifically.
question, Momosa? So
Pradeep
I
Sensei?
think,
Yeah, okay.
yes, I think for the technology stream students, you can apply so without any issue. There is no issue with applying for the Japanese courses, as Kawamoto-san says. So there are some other requirement like number of years you educated in Sri Lankan schools. So kind of lot of other requirements also there. So if you are fulfilling those things, so you are eligible to apply. There are so many degree programs related to technology stream.
ありがとう、先生。ありがとうございます。Okay. Do we have 5 more minutes? Okay. Next question, is it possible to apply for direct entry into a PhD program using the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports Science, and Technology scholarship scheme?
If you meet the eligibility requirements, you can directly apply for PhD program. but there are some like requirement if you go to the PhD education in Japan, but it's possible.
Okay. Well, next question
もし
is,
質問が
はい。
多い場合は、ちょっと時間伸びても大丈夫です。
あ、了解しました。ありがとうございます。Well, next question is, can I attach co-career activities in robotics of mine in the application? And I also have JLPT N3. Will that help anyway?
I'm sorry, does that mean like any like JLPT N3 helps the application to KOSEN, I guess? Robotics?
I'm not sure.
Um, uh, well, once again, obtaining JLPT is good, but not required for the application and selection of the scholarships. Well, robotics study, I assume I am not sure which scheme is expected, but for some scheme, robotics are also available as well. And so it's better to check the detail whether is there any courses offered by Japanese schools or university that meet what you want to study.
ありがとうございます。Okay. The next question is, do we need to attest our degree certificate, a transcript, and other certificates from Foreign Ministry of Japanese Embassy before applying through the Ministry of Higher Education, SL?
Well, I don't think there are that many documents for the first application through the Ministry of Education in Sri Lanka. But the detail gonna be open tonight or tomorrow, so it's better to check this one to make sure to have the necessary document by the deadline.
Okay. ありがとうございます。The next question is attaching N2 with fluent speaking in English and Japanese would be a plus point when applying to be a scholarship.
Yes, it's not required, but it can add some advantage.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then the last question, can we get past papers?
We do not share past, I assume it's past papers of written exam, but we do not share the exam that was conducted in the past.
Okay, Kawamoto-san, thank you so much. Okay, as we have now reached the end of our scheduled time, we would like to conclude today's session. And we would like to express our gratitude to Ms. Kawamoto-san and from the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka, as well as to Dr. Pradeep Sensei and Mr. Janes-san. Thank you very much for their